Are you somebody who is a working professional and wants to prepare for CSIR NET, GATE and other competitive exams? Or are you somebody who is a student and side by side you're preparing for CSIR NET exams? I know this is a tough task to do, and that is why we made this video just for you. Let's get started. So before I start with the 10 to 15 pointers which I can give you today, I want to let you know that as per a survey conducted by Biotechnica among its subscribers, and we have 25 lakh subscribers across the globe, we found out that students who are working somewhere or are still students have better chances of qualifying because they already know that time is not on their side, so they always try to find out shortcuts and better ways to prepare for CSIR NET. So that's a good thing. That's a result of our survey which we have done. Now, with these encouraging thoughts, let me give you 10 pointers which will help you prepare for CSIR NET, GATE and other exams better while you are still in a job. So let's get started with point number 1. So the point number 1 for today is planning ahead. Now, most of us, if you see, when we are working in a job or in a college, we have predictable schedules like, okay, from this time to this time I'm going to be in office, or this time to this time I'm going to be in college. So this is something which we already know. So you have to now figure out what you do in the other times. Okay, now the biggest enemy of course is going to be procrastination, but if you really want to beat procrastination, then I'll give you another pointer. But for now, yes, you need to plan ahead. Don't think that even if I don't plan I can succeed, right? Because your preparation needs direction. And having said that, let me give you an example of a ship. So if there is a ship without a rudderless ship will keep going round and round without knowing that, okay, the entire fuel is gone. So the same way, but your fuel is what? Time. And you have what? Less time. So if you have less time, that means less fuel. That means you need better direction than anyone else to prepare for these exams. Now, I have already told you that most of the students in our survey, we found out that people who prepare while in a job or in a college prepare better and qualify faster. But for that, you need to circumvent your biggest enemy, and at this juncture, that is time, which is not on your side. So how do you bring time on your side? By planning ahead. And how do you plan ahead? Take a planner. We have the CSIR NET planner which I can show you. This particular planner is really good. If you want, you can buy it in Biotechnica stores. Otherwise, just take a piece of paper and you can plan. So definitely this will help because this is a template which you can use. So you start from morning 5 o'clock. Okay, if you can't wake up at 5 o'clock, whatever time you wake up, please start writing what you do in the entire day, which are the free hours. Okay. Now, a few things which you have to realize that after office or after college hours are not recreation or resting hours. They are the hours to prepare. And prior to your college or prior to your going to office, those time is also time to prepare. But that is where comes, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that. I'll come to all those things. But the first point which I said, plan ahead. Now moving on to point number 2. Now my point number 2 is sticking to a schedule. Now I said plan ahead. You have planned, but how do you stick to that plan so that you achieve your end goal, right? And I gave you example of a rudderless ship. So what happens with the rudderless ship? It keeps going round and round. The same thing here. So if you don't stick to the schedule, if you don't stick to the plan, it's as good as no plan, right? So the first thing is habits. Now habits has to be changed. Now most of us are in a habit. What kind of habit? That after office we'll rest. Even I have this habit that after like 6:30 or 7 months our job is done, we start to rest. But don't do that. Okay, how do you change that? You have to create a sandwich in between your location and time. For example, you say at this time I will reach this location, which is my study room, and I will do studying. Okay, so this is an active way. At 7 o'clock, maybe suppose you want to start studying. So what do you do in the evening? You put a timer, or you put this reminder in Alexa or Google app, or your scheduler app, that it will remind you, it will send you a push notification in your mobile that now is the time to start preparing. So reach your location, which is your study table, study room, and the time 7 o'clock, and start studying. That's the first thing you can do. So after office, take some break, relax. Yes, relaxation is important, and then stick to the schedule. Now, habit formation is something which can help you beat motivation. If you realize, on the first day of our gymming, we are like super pumped. Yes, I will lose weight. But by the time it becomes 6 months, we lose hope, we lose motivation, and we stop doing exercise. Exactly the same thing happens with your exam preparation also. So what you have to do, you have to create a habit of studying. Okay, now let me give you example of brushing your teeth. Have you ever done this, that in the morning you woke up and you didn't feel like brushing your teeth? It doesn't happen that way, right? Why does it happen? Because it's your habit, it's your schedule, right? Now why is it's in your schedule? Because after brushing you feel good, right? So what you have to do is you have to make your studying enjoyable. Okay, if you make your studying enjoyable, if you tell yourself that yes, I really enjoyed, and you have to become very much passionate about studies, then only you can stick to this particular schedule. Otherwise you will feel like, okay, let's leave this. So how to become passionate, I'll come to that a little later. For now, I gave you 2 pointers. The first is plan ahead, then the second is stick to that schedule, stick to that plan. Okay, now let's move on to the third point. All right, so our third point is take help from authentic sources. Now, a lot of sub points I can give you under this, but the first point is authentic. You see, time is not on your side. Okay, so you have less time, you have to prepare a lot of things. So what you have to do, you have to take help of a experienced mentor. If you take help of any random YouTube channel or a YouTube video, it is not going to help you. You have to understand that if you waste your time, then you're not going to qualify, and time is already less. So don't waste watching random YouTube videos. Okay, enroll yourself into a coaching where you get evening classes or morning classes. I'm sure morning classes will be difficult if you are a late riser. So what you can do is you can go for the 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock class, which Biotechnica conducts, late evening classes. You can go for that. Otherwise, you can approach anybody who is ready to teach you in that slot. Okay, and what you have to do is, so you have to look for authentic sources, and then you have to be in touch with them on a daily basis. Most of us, what we do is, we don't create a habit, we don't stick to a schedule, and we don't hire a mentor, and we just go to YouTube slacking, and we just get some random YouTube video and we start watching and thinking that okay, this is what is my preparation. But trust me, CSIR NET GATE DBT, all these examinations require the kind of depth which is very rare. Okay, it's not that everybody has that knowledge. Only highly qualified people can impart you that knowledge, and not just highly qualified people who have experience of teaching, 10, 15, 20 years of experience of teaching. Those will be the people who can give you the right guidance. If you think that okay, this person is one mentor who can teach me, now you have to know that CSIR NET consists of 13 units. Each unit is itself is a MSc in that particular subject, like MSc in cell biology, molecular biology, right? So you need different set of mentors, a team of mentors who are going to guide you, not just one. Okay, and for that matter, Biotechnica has experienced mentors, so of course you can enroll with us. And now that Biotechnica online coaching classes are available in your Biotechnica official app, so you can always attend there. So yes, I'm not endorsing Biotechnica, whichever you want to choose, but please choose authentic sources, because afterwards, once 6 months are over and you don't qualify, you will really regret, because you wasted your time and you relied on unauthentic sources, and now it's you who has to suffer, not that unauthentic sources, right? So that's my point number 3. Moving on to point number 4. All right, so point number 4 is utilizing your vacations and weekends and your holidays wisely. Now, I remember one neighbor of mine, one day I was going to office on a Sunday, and one neighbor of mine asked me, why do we go to office on a Sunday? Because of course I was building Biotechnica, I used to go to office every day. So I said, because I'm on a mission to help bioscientists, right? So I have to. So I was on a mission, right? So that's very, very important. So when you prepare for CSIR NET, you are on a mission. And that mission is to not just qualify CSIR NET, to become a great scientist, to become a great researcher. If you keep that mission in your mind, you will realize that anyways, all these Holi, Diwali, Dashera, all these festivals, Eid will come. Anyways, it will come after year. You calculate. If you're going to, live for 80 years, if you just sacrifice 1 year, how does it matter? You have another 50 years to celebrate those festivals. Coming to weekends, now we all like relaxing on weekends, relaxing and, just sit on a sofa, couch and keep watching Netflix and binge watching, right? That is the thing you have to know. All these apps which were created for entertainment nowadays have scientists who actually watch out for human behavior and exactly they create their shows, their videos according to that. So what happens is you automatically get attracted because of their trailer or movie and you just think, okay, just one day, okay. So you start doing that, but you have to know that if you miss your habit for once, it's an accident. If you miss your habit of studying twice, then it is a formation of a new habit, and that is not studying. Not studying is also a habit. If studying is a habit, not studying is also a habit. So you are actually inculcating a habit of not studying. So tell me, is it right? No, it is not. Weekends, your brain, your mind doesn't know weekend. It's just that your conscious mind knows, or subconscious mind doesn't know. And your habit are actually a result of your subconscious action, right? Like you wake up in the morning and brush, you don't consciously do it. It just happens, right? It's subconscious. So that's very, very important here, guys. If you really want to succeed, you have to be on a mission. And that mission is to become a great researcher. CSIR NET is the passport to become that great researcher. So you must prepare for it. So फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. How does it matter even if it is a weekend or a festival or a holiday? Doesn't matter. You have to study. Okay. Now, when you're a working professional or you're a student, these are bonus brownies actually, because on those days, rest of the world doesn't work. And that's what I always have this in my mind, that I always work on the weekends because the rest of the world is not working. So if I work on weekends, in a year I'm 100 days ahead of them. You can calculate. Okay, because there are 2 weekends per month, so that's 8 multiplied by 12, it's 96 days. If I work more, I can grow faster, right? The same thing. If you study more, you get 100 days extra compared to others who didn't study on weekends, right? So I think that's a no-brainer. You should study because time in that case will be on your side. And yes, if you want to enroll for a weekend batch, you can always do so. At Biotechnic also we have, other places also you will get. So weekend batch is a good idea, but don't study whole day continuously, otherwise your mind will just, start lazing around and the concepts won't penetrate your mind. So that's my point. And next, move on to the next point. So my next point is utilize the 1% improvisation rule. Now this rule is like this. If I improve in my studies and in my scheduling of studies or in my sticking to the plan or whatever points I told you earlier by 1% per day, okay, I improve my methodology of studying 1% per day, then at the end of the year, I will be 37 times better in my studies. Okay, you can do the maths, but this is the rule. Now, let me elaborate this rule for you. So, if you make a habit of studying, create a skill of learning, and then you start implementing it on a daily basis, and then think back, okay? Think back, how can I improve on this methodology? Like I studied today cell cycle, but I really don't remember by the end of the day. So what should I do? Should I improve on that? Okay, maybe I should club making notes with studying. No, I should maybe listen to audio notes while studying. Something like that. So basically what I'm trying to talk is you have to improve your productivity 1% per day. So what we have done is at Biotecnika, we launched a course, okay, in the beginning of September 2021, and that course is Productivity for CSIR NET GATE and other competitive exam aspirants. And this particular course is available in our Biotecnika app, as well as it is available on Biotecnika website, Biotecnika stores. You can go there, the link is given in the description. You can attend this course, and it will help you, benefit you immensely, because then you will know how to improve on your studies 1% per day, and at the end of the year you will be 37 times better. Imagine if you become 37 times better, maybe you become the topper of CSIR NET, who knows. But the idea here is to improve 1% per day. So this is my point number 5. Let's move on to point number 6. So my next point is point number 6, which is avoid making detailed notes. Now, I met a student who was working and who was again studying in our weekend batch, and she used to write like long notes. I asked her how much time you spend making these notes. So she was like, okay, I study in the class and go back, make notes. But then I asked, how much time do you get to memorize it or remember it or, self-study on? So that's where the point is. If you start making detailed notes, you become author of a book called Your Name Notes, right? For example, if I wrote the notes, then it becomes Mr. Shekhar Suman's notes. But that will not help me. It will just become a bulky thing at the end of the 6 months, and I'll be like, ab kaise padhe? This big notes itself I'll end up doing PhD in my own notes. So there is a secret here. The secret is follow Cornell method while making notes. Make short notes. Don't make detailed notes, and buy notes. So of course, there's study material available everywhere, and on Biotecnika also it is available. The link is given in the description. You can find that out, you can buy that. And those are short notes, and those are crisp, concise, and very clear in the perception. So you study from standard books and then match it from the notes, okay? Whatever is missing in the notes or you think should be there, you just add only those. And what you have to do is you have to in Hindi we say it Atmasat, in English we say it as internalize the notes, okay? For example, when you learn the car for the first time, or when you learn how to drive a bike for the first time, the bike doesn't customize itself to you. You customize your habits according to the bike, right? The same way, when you buy notes, you have to internalize the notes, okay? And when you have internalized the notes, so then you're in a better position, okay? You're in a better position to memorize from the notes, and you don't need to write all the big detailed notes, right? So that's my point, and let's move on to the next point. So the point number 7 which I have today for you is practice as much questions as you can. Now this is a no-brainer, everybody says that, but there is a catch here which I'm going to highlight. The first point, don't just go and buy a random test series and start practicing. Pick out the previous year question papers, sit in the exam condition, and don't just try to solve, but practice decision making for the exam. That, okay, if I am sitting right now in the exam, which all questions I will choose to answer, because there is negative marking, okay? And you have to practice extensively, and there are, we made a AI-based test series, artificial intelligence powered test series called as AIMNet 2021, and you can always enroll in that, and you can see that how AI customizes the question. It shows you difficult question depending on the difficulty level you choose, which you don't get elsewhere generally. But the most important thing is choose previous year question papers and solve extensively, and don't just solve, choose decision making. Do decision making, which all questions you will solve first, okay? And that will help you during your exam, because the time will be less and you need to decide which ones to choose, because if you end up choosing tough question, then you get, fall into the trap of negative marking. So that's my point. Move on to the next point. All right, so my next point is using quick revision tools. Now, all of us revise, but how do we revise? We'll just take our notes and start looking at it and try to put it in our memory. And then after 2 days, I look back at the notes again, I feel, kuch yaad nahi hai, nothing I remember. Does it happen to you? Let me know in the comment section. So what do we do to solve this problem? We have to scientifically design our revision strategy. So of course, spaced repetition is one, which you can follow. The link is given in the description how to do that. But more than that, you need study tools and study aids. Now, let's put it into perspective this way. Suppose I say, hey, Mr. XYZ, you need to go from Bangalore to Chennai. So if you go by foot, it takes time. If you go in a car, it takes little lesser time, and if you go by flight, it takes even lesser time. So what exactly we do? We used a plane or we used a car. So what's the car? That's a tool, right? The same way, you have to utilize a tool. And what's that tool? In our cases, we have developed concept tables and concept wheels, which will help you memorize. So these are colorful flowcharts, colorful Conceptica Light is another one, which is very, very nice. It's colored book. So what happens is you can go through the colored flowcharts and your mind registers those colors in the subconscious, and then comparison tables, that's concept table, which you can use. So compare, because obviously you remember things which you compare, right? So like you remember with which phone is good, Samsung or a OnePlus, right? So you compare, and that's how you remember, right? So that's where you can do all this, and all the links to buy these study tools is given in the description. You can use that. But most important thing is, don't just buy and keep it. You have to use it. You have to read it every day while revising. And yes, revision should be every day. Don't just revise, okay, last month revision karenge, aisa nahi hota. It doesn't happen that way. You need to revise in the middle. Suppose you want to revise, suppose you studied today, so tomorrow whatever you studied, you must revise, okay? That's how you got to prepare for this exam, right? So let's move on to the next point. So my 9th point for today is minimize your mobile usage. Yes, as working professionals, we are always in stress and tonus, and we think that next moment our boss may call and say, okay, this particular project has to be done. Or if you're a student, next moment your friend will ping, hey, let's go watch a movie. Remember, mobile is a good tool. Okay, it's a tool, scientific tool, which must be used in the right way. If you use it in the wrong way, it's like using the atomic bomb to bombard Hiroshima or Nagasaki, or utilizing atomic energy to generate power, which lights all of us, our homes, right? So it's about using, whether you want to use it for destruction of your life or whether you want to use it for construction of your life. Use mobile phone, yes, you download Biotechnica app and study from there, okay, fine, that's all right. But don't use it for, random WhatsApp chats, random WhatsApp group and all those gossips and all those movie reviews and news. Anyways, you have whole life to do that. Next 6 months, dedicate on studying. So how do you do that? There is an app called as Stay Free. I personally use it and recommend. And of course, this is not a paid video. So yes, Stay Free is genuinely I use it, and you can find out, okay, how many hours you spent on mobile. And when I did my own analysis, I found out that out of 7 days, I'm using 24 hours on mobile. I was like, wow, that's too much. I just kept my mobile away, and now I could reduce it, thankfully, because of course the apps are so addictive, and at Biotechnica a lot of work happens through the mobile itself. So yes, but as a student you have to minimize it to the minimum, okay? Because if mobile robs 1 day out of 7 days, imagine how many days it can rob you off from the entire year. It's huge, right? So don't ever touch your mobile while studying, while doing self-studying. And of course, when you are attending online classes, you can always attend through mobile, that's all right. But yes, if possible, remove your notifications. Like right now, I'm recording this video, I have my mobile in like D&D, do not disturb, so that nobody can call me, and I should be focused completely so that I can give you the right pointer. So that's my point number 9. Minimize distractions. Mobile is a must no. Now let's move on to the last point. The last point is maintain your biological functions to reduce stress. Now, look at this. If you are stressed from your job, of course, you take a lot of stress when you are in job or when you are a student. I know how much stressful it is to learn all that and then come back and learn this. It is a totally different direction, that is totally different direction. I know the stress, but if you biologically make yourself stronger, then you can withstand the stress, and that's how you succeed. Because if you fall sick, then you lose hours, and you don't have days also as a working professional or a student. You have only hours, right? So you have to save your hours. You need to strengthen your bodily functions. Now, how do you strengthen? There are 3 aspects which I always suggest to all my students. The first is exercise, okay? exercise daily or alternate days, minimum 1.5 hours. The second is your mental health. Mental sanity is very much required, but because on some days we are just overwhelmed from work or overwhelmed from studies. So mental health is very important. Meditation is the right way to go for meditation. And the third thing which I always suggest people is food. You know, you don't lose weight or you don't become fit just by exercising. You actually become fit when you eat right, okay? Eating a lot of antioxidants, eating a lot of veggies, and reducing your carbohydrates, you will get less sleep, and then you will be able to wake up early, and then you will be able to design your day, and then you'll be able to stick to your plan. All the pointers which I told you is dependent on this. Because if this cage is not there, if this body is not there, you don't exist. Then who will write CSIR NET exam? Nobody, right? So very, very important point, guys. Maintain your biological functions, strengthen your biological functions, exercise, eat right, and meditate. Okay? Now, on the top of it, the fourth sub-point under this, I want to tell you is read the right books and watch the right videos. Don't just go and watch some YouTube guru and start listening. You know, of course, this video is also on YouTube, but discretion. Take only those points which suits you. Don't take those points which doesn't suit you. Not everybody has got the experience and they will be able to guide you, okay? That point in time, it may sound logically right, but later on it will be logically wrong. So what you have to do is pick the pointers, which is very important, and read the right books. Apart from your course books and your books, university books, you have to read some good books which is available in Kindle or Amazon.in, where you can go and check out those. One of the few books which I can recommend you is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I always recommend that to every student. Another book which I can recommend you is by Napoleon Hill, is Laws of Success. Okay, that's also a good book. And the multiple books actually which will help you if you are losing your self-esteem or motivation, or you are not able to be productive in your preparation, then you can always go for the productivity masterclass which I have conducted for CSIR NET, GATE and other aspirants. So the link is given in the description. So that's it, guys. These are the 10 pointers which I wanted to share with you all today. I hope you enjoyed the session, and please let us know in the comment section what you want us to do next, what kind of videos you want to watch, and we will be very happy to do that. And also please hit a thumbs up if you like the video, and do let us know your feedback. We would love to invite you all on Biotecnika official app, where you can get free classes for CSIR NET, GATE and other exams. You can also get a lot of test series and study material and a lot of certification courses, and yes, there is a free internship going on. Please don't forget to join that, right? Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care. Bye-bye.